I'm going to try and beat Pantheon 5 playing as the Pure Vessel. But before we do that, we need to turn this guy into this other guy. How are we gonna do that? I'm glad you asked. First off, we need our knight to look like his older brother, and to do this, we're going to download this skin online, which will make this possible. But this only makes the knight look like his older brother. How do we give him the abilities? Well, we're gonna download some really handy mods, that's how. Now, what does the Pure Vessel have that our little knight doesn't? An extremely big range with his nail, some really cool spells, and void tendrils. We can easily buff the nail range by equipping the Mark of Pride and Long Nail together, and this already feels a bit better. Now for the main part, I'm going to download the Pale Court Charms and equip the Boon of Hallownest. This will allow our vessel to cast spells which looks super cool. But we're not done yet, since in the game we can see the Pure Vessel doing an attack while focusing. To do this, we're going to equip the Vessel's Lament. Great, we're almost done. Now for the Void Tendrils, I'm going to be equipping the Abyssal Bloom. Notice how the Pure Vessel only does this attack when he's below half HP, and fortunately for us, this charm works the exact same way. The more HP the vessel loses, the more damage he does. To take it a step further, when we're at 1 mask, he gets increased range, speed, and animations. Now that we're done, I'm equipping some extra charms which I think is very fitting for the Pure Vessel, like the Dash Master, Sprint Master, Sharp Shadow, and so on. I hopped in game and the results were really good. This is the Hollow Knight we could have had if things went just a little differently lore-wise. We always glaze our knight, but you guys forget that the Pure Vessel will absolutely solo the entirety of Silksong with ease, including Hornet. Oh my god, I miss the Gruzmother so much. I used to hate this boss fight before, but after facing the Broodmother in Silksong, this fight is suddenly looking really good. This is probably a bad take, but I think Hollow Knight has better boss designs than Silksong. I find myself disliking some of the bosses solely because of how tedious they are in the second game, but I don't seem to share the same dislike for any of the bosses in Hollow Knight. Well, of course, other than Markov. Because, well, screw Markov. Let's play a little game together. Let's try to compare the bosses from Hollow Knight and find their Silksong counterpart. I think the Moss Charger is very similar to the Skull Tyrant. I'm strongly certain that Team Cherry had Hornet in mind when they made Phantom. Their movesets are insanely similar. Also, this is how the fight with Pure Vessel and Hornet would likely go. She's getting absolutely dogged. I bet she's taking like triple masks of damage with each hit. Okay, for this particular boss, I'm going to be reaching just a little bit. I feel like Gorb is more like Moorwing than anyone else. Solely because he floats the hell around. Like, because look at him, he's just floating around for nothing. Wait, I just realized something. Dung Defender resembles Trobio the most. Neither of them are evil, both of them throw random shit around. Ha, get it? Cause, you know, he uses his poop. And also they just fight for the love of it. That's insane. Okay, I'll admit, I have absolutely no idea who this guy is even remotely similar to. Who do you think he would be if he wasn't Silksong? Cause I don't know, this guy doesn't even feel like a boss. By the way, if you're curious as to why I'm not healing, it's because I want to deal more damage. I can beat most of these bosses with 2 to 3 masks, and I think that's more than enough. Eh? Queso! As in like cheese in Spanish. I think Nail Masters Oro and Matu remind me of the Forge Brothers from Silksong. Solely because there's 2 of them on my screen. Also, can you imagine trying to jump a little guy with your friend and he's absolutely dogging both of you? Like, I'll just call it a day, honestly, if that happened to me. It's alright guys, I've played Silksong, I don't really need that heal. I've been saying this forever now, but I think Zero is like a budget version of Markov. Just look at him, he just floats around in one space though, which is why I kinda like him a bit more than him. I kinda feel bad for the Crystal Guardian. He's always been a punching bag in front of everyone's eyes, and he kinda deserves more credit. The Soul Master is just Grohl. He even looks like Grohl. Sure, the attacks are a bit different, but one uses the Shade Soul and the other uses the Desolate Dive. Oh my god, I'm gonna make this thing impale itself now. That was so close, I dashed in the very last frame. Okay, hear me out. The Oblobos is an extremely difficult boss to beat hitless. The first phase is a joke, but the second one is, well, really unpredictable and scary. Which is exactly why I healed and I'm gonna tank the hell out of this boss. Oh my god. The Mantis Lords easily remind me of the Clockwork Dancers, but, you know, I wasn't even the one who thought of that. It was actually one of you guys who pointed it out to me, and it's been stuck with me ever since. If I got jumped by 3 tall women in real life that wanted to dominate me, maybe I'd be a bit less down, but in general, maybe. Okay, jokes aside, I really like this fight. Like, really like this fight. It's so much better than the Clockwork Dancers. You guys want to hear my impression of Marmu's voice? I'm gonna hold it in this time. I'm better than making these jokes. Imagine the grip. Honestly, the broken vessel does not get talked about enough. He's a sibling from the Void as well, and I think he's pretty adorable. Okay, let's be for real for a little while. Galleon isn't a real boss. How did he make it into the Godseeker's mind? You guys wanna know a fun fact? The real reason the Nail Masters and the Pain Masters are fat is because they really like cheese. We know this because they yell queso. The source for that is that I made it up. Fun fact, this is probably the guy Hornet was screwing when she was in Hallownest. Don't ask me how I know this, but I'd like you to know as well. It's not confirmed yet, but it's a very educated guess. Mom, can we have Voltworm? No, son, we have Voltworm at Hallownest. The Voltworm at Hallownest. I'd like you guys to know, if I was made of Void, I'm a million times more likely to be a gooner like this guy than being a vessel with no feelings or emotions. You know what? This is my attempt at sounding like the guy. Don't ask me why I know how to do that. You know, I had a really hard time beating this boss in the Colosseum of Fools the first 200 times I fought it, before realizing I had no nail upgrades. I got the nail upgrades and surprisingly, I still lost. I just sucked. No matter how many bosses I can cheese, I'm always going to have to respect Grim, solely because of his balloon attack. Also, here's my impression of his voice. Taka, hold there, sir. The Watcher Knights when they watch me absolutely obliterate their peers in one hit. Gotta hand it to them though, at least they're trying. Okay, I just noticed something and I don't know if that's intentional or not, but you see those orange mist looking fly thingies on the top? Yeah, those things remind me of the silk flies from Silksong, but infected. Now I don't know if they're just normal Luma flies or whatnot, but they kinda seem different. I really like this Void Tendril attack, but I cannot keep this long term. Because that would just be the Shade Lord video all over again, and it's not what this is about. I don't know, I really don't like Umu. It's so much RNG, I do not like it. Especially without Whirl, it's kind of a pain in my butt. I didn't mean to do that. Shit. I didn't mean to do that either. Oh god. Yeah, you guys can see why I suck at this game. Especially against Umu. Okay. Well, at least that worked. Unpopular opinion, but I really don't like Flying Nosk. He got downgraded from his prime. It was actually a fun fight initially, but when he's flying, it's kind of annoying. I'm going to damage tank this fight so much. I hate waiting around. You know, if Hollow Knight has taught me anything, it's that you really shouldn't underestimate smaller opponents. Especially Sly, because he's one of the only few characters that can do double damage. Keep in mind, this guy would do quadruple damage on Hornet. Hello, step sis, or like half sis. Whoops. Look, guys, I'm impaling my sis. Okay, I'm not making this joke. That's not appropriate here. This poor boss is a victim. I feel bad. Lost Pumpkin. Ha, get it? Because he's orange? Honestly, that's not a bad nickname. I think I'm gonna call him that from now on. It's kind of adorable. I used to hate this boss fight before, and although I still hate it, I'm not going to clown on it. It's kinda tragic lore-wise. Me squaring up the single mother of four because she got the last box of Chips Ahoy. Traitor Lord is an actual joke of a boss. Wait, why is he taking so much damage? I swear he had more health before. A lot of you people love the Dung Defender because of how heroic he is. You guys love his fighting style and everything. But when I throw poop at people, they boo me. And you guys hate me. Explain that. Oh, buddy, you really should not have done that attack. You're gonna regret this so much. This is exactly how I want to juggle Grandmother Silk's big ass. Would you believe me if I told you that I had a harder time beating Soul Tyrant on Radiant than the Pure Vessel? I'm not kidding, I had a harder time with an oversized toad than an actual being that's made to be a warrior. That healing animation is so extremely cool. Oh my god, I hate this guy so much. This guy's like the Pinstress of Hollow Knight. I'm not even kidding, even the attacks just like her. Well, no, arguably this is worse because he has a weird shield going around him and the Pinstress doesn't. You guys want to hear my impression of Zote? Oh, Kuroji! Oro, oro, na, monema. Okay, I gotta lock in. I'm like 1 HP. Honestly, the more I play this game, I realize how well made these bosses are. When I play Silksong, I always have something bad to say about most of the bosses. I know the first game is a lot more simpler, but I don't think that has to be a bad thing. Oh my god, it's Nightmare King Grim. Oh no, I couldn't heal. This guy scares me so much. This guy scares me so damn much. Every time I fight this guy, it always makes... Oh god. Oh god. I'm so screwed. This guy scares me so much. I have to respect the sequence of the fight or I'm just gonna die. I like this fight so much. It's so well made. I'm about to fight the prime version of myself. I'm going to need every mask I can get. Hello, me. You turned out to be a lot taller than expected. Yo, chill. Yo, calm down. That's not a bad thing. I meant it as a compliment. Oh no, he's gonna jump me, isn't he? Oh, he's jumping me. Come on, that's not fair. You deal like 2 masks of damage. I only deal like half. Wait. Oh my god, that was so close. Canonically, we're supposed to lose this fight, but I made sure that the Pure Vessel did 2 extra push-ups before this fight. So let's see if that changes anything. Lore inaccurate Pure Vessel. He's actually fighting the Radiance. You know what's funny? The Radiance quite literally does not show any emotion whatsoever, but you can tell she's pissed here. I'm actually surprised I'm doing so well in this fight. Usually I just eat actual dirt when I'm fighting this thing. I've actually never done that before, that was so satisfying. The Radiance is actually me here trying to aim at a cockroach with my pace. And it's actually evading it. I'd be scared too. Oh, we're so close. Oh, no! Oh, darn it, I almost had a perfect fight. Oh, you guys saw that, right? You guys saw that down dash? That was pretty crazy, right? Come on. Wow, that was something. If you enjoyed this video, then make sure to check some of these out as well. Also consider subscribing as it would help me out a ton.